Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because I have a ton of new things in front of me that I have picked up and have been recently released. We have the new Golden Collection from Natasha Denona. We have all the blush filters from Huda Beauty. Trying out new powder from Tarte. There's just so much to try out. But you guys, before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how I got this look using the new products sitting in front of me, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, so I just received in the mail my purchase from Natasha Denona, and it is her Golden Palette. Now, if you've been a huge fan of Natasha Denona for a long time, you know that she originally had a gold palette. But the Golden Palette, if you're following any of the Instagram channels or YouTubers that posted about this, they are literally showing the side-by-side swatches of this palette. I don't own the original. It was so expensive, and I couldn't see spending over $100 for an eyeshadow palette back in the day. I'm not going to say I've never done it. I have recently. It's a lot of money. But this palette is in a more flexible price range. I want to say it's like $65. But this is the color story. The original does have two like greenish blue shades, and I like this color story. It is very neutral. You've got a deep brown, a lot of shimmers. I'm really excited to swatch it because, like I said, I've never owned this palette in the original form, and she just released this on her site, Sephora. It is so beautiful. I'm so excited for this. But I want to know your thoughts. Are you picking it up? Do you have the original? Are you picking up the new one to see the comparisons? I will say, if I can find some of the pages that I follow that have shown the swatches side by side, I will link them down below. Don't hold me to that. I know that they popped up and I was like, oh, that's really cool, but I didn't save them. So I will try my hardest to find them so you can see the comparisons. I am going to definitely swatch this. I want to do that before we dive in and see what they're all about, see if I have a way forward. I mean, I don't technically gravitate towards a lot of gold tones, but it doesn't mean I don't like them. I like them on other people. I like them sometimes, just not as an everyday. So I'm excited to see this because there is a couple shades. Like the shade Fizzy seems more of like a champagne. There are some deeper like golden tones, more yellow, more gold, more champagne. This brownish shimmer, Nubia. Like, I'm really excited for this. So let me swatch and then we will dive in. Okay, these swatches did not disappoint. I love the quality and formula of Natasha Denona shadows. And you've got some teddy bear browns, tan, deep brown with the shade Log, the shimmers. Okay, so Nubia, beautiful. This one has what looks like champagne and silver flakes of glitter in it. And then the shade Kava looks like it could be a glitter topper. And then the shades in the bottom row, which are Aurum, Oro, and Alchemist, are those beautiful like suede shimmers, as well as the shade Varus. Aura is really pretty. It's the shade that looks white in the pan, but it has a gold underhue. All of these are beautiful. And then of course you do have, what is it? Maliko? Maliko? It is a very pale, like creamy, like it's not white and it's not tan. It's just like a cream. So she was throwing her so she was on her cat tree, and it is, I think I've said this before, it's 5.5 feet tall. It's as tall as me. The last couple days she has thrown her food bowl off the top, and usually it's when Dixon is in the room. The first time I ever heard it happen, I heard it clink and I was like, the heck is that? And I come in here and her food bowl is on the ground. I was like, that's weird. We put it up top because Dixon will try and eat her food. I just watched her do it. She nudged it off her tower. But usually, like the last 2 times has been because Dixon's been in the room and she's like nudged it off. And I was like, interesting. I'm gonna go compose myself have a heart-to-heart with Sochu on why we don't throw our food bowls and pry my eyes, I will be back with a way forward. Okay, you guys, we have a way forward. The first shade I'm going to go into is Arya. This is a very light tan shade. I'm going to use my fluffy crease brush for this. I don't think I said it when I was showing you guys the palette, but I do have an affiliate code with Natasha Denona. So it will be on the screen as well as listed down below. I do make a commission off of it, but if you use it, you will also get a discount. So it is up to you if you want to use it. I never want to pressure anyone to feel like they have to use my affiliate code. There are other YouTubers out there that have it, but if you choose to use mine, I appreciate it. This palette, I feel like I could definitely get a lot of use out of, especially when you want, like, I love a fun, shimmery, glitzy shade, but I also feel like it's very neutral, so for someone who likes neutrals, this is definitely that palette. And you could snazz it up with another palette that has deep, bold shades or bright fluorescence, which I've been going for like spring to summer. I've been doing that like in the inner corner. But today I'm going to just play around with this palette. I do also have some other new things that have been released lately that we're going to use today. And then anything I don't discuss, if you want to know what is on my face, that is also going to be listed down below in the drop down box. Alright, so a good base. We are going to deepen this up a little bit. Now into the shade Teak. I like to have a light shade just to buff into the crease, kind of keep everything in place where it's supposed to be. And then if I need to, I'll buff everything out later. But I'm going to stay with the fluffy crease brush and just bring it a little bit lower in the crease area, just to deepen it up right there in the outer V area. Just dipping in a smidge. There is some kick up in the pan. That's not a big deal. I also like that it's not a very messy palette. So there is a little kick up, but nothing to the point that it's going to be very messy when you go to put it away. Today we're just going to keep it pretty like chill today. We're going to meet up with some friends in a little while. Just hang out. The next shade I'm going to use is Log. For this, I'm going to use my pencil brush just to kind of get the shape that I want, and then use my bigger compacted smudge brush to blend everything out. Went outside of the line that I have going on right here. Started to go into that little crease that I've got, which I'm not a fan of. The one thing with the pencil brush, I'm using it in the crease because I want it to be, I don't want it to be exaggerated and super smoky in the crease. I'll smoke out this area right here, but not in the crease area. I'm just trying to keep it a little more defined. Now switching over to my compacted smudge brush, I'm going to pick up ever so slightly and just tap right here and blend forward. And then back with the pencil brush to just blend. So we have a really nice smoky outer corner, a very thin crease area. Now I'm going to go into the shade Nubia. This one I'm going to pick up on my middle finger because I'm going to place it in the center and bring it forward a little bit, but there is another shade I want to use. That's a really pretty, very shiny shade. And like I said, I don't wear a lot of gold. I wear my great grandmother's gold wedding band, but otherwise I'll wear rose gold or white gold. I don't wear a lot of gold, especially in makeup. I've grown to like it more as I've gotten older, but not so much when I was younger. Now I'm going to go into the shade Aura. And this one I'm going to pick up on my ring finger. Ooh. That's that shade that I said had like a gold underhue. I'm going to put it in the inner corner and blend it into Nubia. And pick it up on my dry brush just to finesse the inner corner. It's very subtle, but I see more of the white with the gold tone than just like gold shimmer. But I think it gives a really pretty accent into the shade Nubia. Okay, I've done a lot of my base products, but I stopped because Huda Beauty just released the new blush filter. So you can buy them individually. I ended up buying the sample pack, so there was a discounted price for every single shade. And then it had the little cute carrying case. There's a couple other things in here. There were a whole bunch of like little stickers that I already took out. I haven't looked at everything. Let's see, blush filter. Oh, there's a hand mirror. So this is super cute. I don't know that I need a hand mirror. I've got so many. Oh, this is so cute. Okay. Someone is angering the dog. Dixon is like, how dare you? Oh, there's also little hair clips. So on her videos, she's been using these little hair clips when she's been showing off the blush filter. These are so cute. So there are 5 different shades. The packaging is really pretty. It's kind of got like that jelly look to it. And they're cream. So I did do everything including my concealer. I have not used powder because it's a cream product. Then I also have the new Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder, which I want to try out. I got it in shade pink. So we're going to use that today as well. Now, there are 5 shades in these. I want to swatch them. But then also in the box, there was a little bit of information on the blush filter. Some of them look like they have glitter in them. And then towards the back, she kind of tells you how to do like little blush cocktails where you mix them together. And even looking at the deepest shade, this one is Black Cherry. It looks very deep, but in here, Black Cherry and Cotton Candy mixed together is really pretty. So when you do that, you kind of create like the 2 shades together and then blend. Yeah, so prep base dot blend blush. There's directions. So there's no guessing. But let's go ahead. I'm going to put these in order of lightest to darkest, swatch them really quick, and then see what we want to do. All right, so this first shade is Cotton Candy. And there was part of me that was like, I don't need this shade. I don't need cotton candy. But then looking at the info in the package, it was just kind of like, okay, well, maybe I do need to keep it because I could blend together. So this is kind of like a baby pink. Then we have Peach Sorbet. And this is the lightest peachy orange shade. Look at the doe foot. It's just kind of got like the 2 little tennis balls type. So we'll put that on there. Kind of has like a peachy melon shade to it. Strawberry Cream. Why is this one so messy? Ooh, that is pretty. It kind of gives me like cool tone. Watermelon Pop. Ooh, okay, see, and I'm not sure if that's something I would go for, but then also mixing them together because it's recommended with these. And Black Cherry. This one's very deep. And looking at my eyes, I'm like, ooh, do I want to go that deep or do I want to stick with one of the lighter peachy shades? Ooh, okay, maybe I want to do black cherry and cotton candy together, like the little cocktail. Okay, those are really pretty and very juicy. I'm interested to see like the blend down, and then of course powder. Ooh, okay. Let me know, which one is your favorite? Are you gonna pick them up? Because it seems like the beginning of this year is just all about blush. I mean, it's spring. That's usually when they release most of their blush shades, right? All the new blushes are out. So I think I'm going to do black cherry and cotton candy. I mean, it looks gorgeous on here. And it looks like the lighter shade you do more on top, and then the darker shade we're going to try on one side. I'm really hoping I don't mess this up. We'll just do the two. And then cotton candy. I might need like a fourth one just because it is lighter. Where it is. All right. And then of course you can always add more, or like just choose a shade to deepen it up or a lighter shade to lighten it. That is really pretty. I do think I need a little bit more of both. Just a smidge, not a lot. But, all right, I'm just gonna go one dot and then like two with cotton candy. But also because I want to bring it up a little bit. I'm also interested to see what it looks like once I put powder on top of it. That is so pretty. I also wonder what it would look like if I just did black cherry by itself. That'll be for another day. I'm gonna do that one right there. And then cotton candy. Now for the nose, this one is like, because I don't need a lot. I'm second guessing myself. Just a smidge. Very pretty. So I feel like if I wanted to deepen this up, I could add more of the black cherry and not add any of the cotton candy. Okay, I think this is something I'm gonna, words. I feel like this is something that I'm going to be playing around with like all summer, and I will probably take these with me to Germany. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. I really like those. All right, now we have the Tarte Creaseless. So this does also have its own little puff. And I used to love Tarte powders back in the day. I wanted to get the translucent, but they didn't have it, and I was like, I'll do pink and then I'll try and get it later. Oh shoot, I literally just made a purchase on Tarte. Mistakes were made. I should have seen if they had translucent and I completely forgot. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure my setting or my concealer is good. So I like that it says creaseless. I have under eye creases, so that's hard for me anyways. But I'm always looking for something to try out and see if it can minimize. I know it is very unlikely that I will completely get rid of my under eye creases. But so this is with the powder, which looks a little bit smoother, and then this is without it being set. I will try it out with other concealers too, because this one I use the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, which I do really like, but I'm not a fan of the Tarte Creaseless concealer. I do like the Tarte Shape Tape. It is really pretty on the skin. And I thought about using that today, but I was like, it's okay. It is also, I don't know if it's completely meant for under the eyes, but I want to try it out on the rest of my skin and see what it looks like. And, oh, yep, we fell into the lines up here. I'm also switching my powder puffer because that one is so small, which is good for getting into the eyes, but to cover a lot of ground, I kind of need a bigger puff. Okay, looking at my skin, it looks nice and smooth. There are some porous areas right here. I also use the Hourglass airbrush, but like I said, I'm going to try this out with other products. I'm not going to be definitive on my final thoughts on this, because depending on what I use can definitely make or break how my skin looks. So far, I think my skin looks really nice. Depending on how I feel over the next couple days, I will probably pick up the translucent shade as well. But so far, so good. Now, let's go ahead and finish off this eye. I like how it looks so far. You guys, just this blush is so beautiful. I love the cocktail. I'm going to go into the shade Arya. And this one I'm going to pick up on my very small compacted smudge brush. Take this the entire length under the eye. And now into the shade Teak. This one's just going to go into the middle. And then into the shade Log. Just a smidge right here in the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my compacted smudge brush and finesse the outer edge. I'm just going to pick it up ever so slightly, and right here on the outer edge where that shimmer kind of meets it, just push it in a little bit to deepen it back up. But I'm going to grab my pencil brush to define the outer corner area. And on my fluffy crease brush with just a smidge of Arya, I'm going to go right here on the outer edge and just blend that out. It also helps because as I'm getting older, I realize just right here, this disappears into my eye socket more. But if you go and blend on the outer edge above where that shade folds in, you've now made your eye look a little bit bigger, but not too dramatic. We do also have a highlighter palette. I'm so excited for this. The shades are stunning. So also looks like the eyeshadow. Okay, I knew something happened. So I had literally just filmed B-roll for this, and the palette slammed on the ground. But when I opened it up, the shades were not shattered, and I was like, oh, okay, good. No, they're not magnetized in there, so I'm gonna need to get some Gorilla Glue and put them back in. Whoops. Okay. 1 second. Okay, just take it from me. Don't drop it upside down. Thankfully they didn't shatter, but I do need to super glue them back into place. But this is what the palette looks like. I'm not gonna straighten it out. So let me go ahead and swatch the 3 shades. This one is Pearl. This one is Sun Glow. And this one is Bronze. Those are beaming. Okay, I think I want to use a mix of Pearl and Sun Glow in the inner corner and the brow bone. I don't want it so light and so pale, like major contrast, but I'm just gonna dip in a smidge. I'll go into Sun Glow and then a lot into you guys, I can't believe I did that. And Luke heard me dropping. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, oh my goodness, I think I just smashed this to smithereens. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, it's fine. And then I did that. Now with the palette, or the eyeshadow palette, you can take, there's so many fingerprints on here. You can use a pointy object and push the pans out. Those are magnetized. It looks like they tried to do that with the highlighter palette, but then didn't, and just glued everything in, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but don't drop it. All right, just a really pretty, nice hint of glimmer. And now I think I'm gonna go into Sun Glow for on the cheeks. Oh, that is really pretty. Tip in just a little bit, see if it's buildable. Oh, that's really pretty. I feel like if I just went in with my finger, I'm gonna get a beaming highlighter. Yeah. But then use a brush to diffuse it. Whoops. So like best effect is with the finger. Oh, that is beaming. I do need to go ahead and do my brows. I'm going to fill them in off camera, but I do have a new brow gel and lips. So let me go ahead, fill my brows in, do liner, mascara. I'll be back for brow gel and lips and then the final look. Okay guys, so except for brow gel, which I picked up from MAC. This is the Pro Locked Brow Gel. And then also lips. Everything else is done. So let's go ahead. This is the weirdest applicator. It's got like little spiky legs on here, but what? It's so interesting. I'm nervous because I'm like, okay, I usually drag backwards, but if it dries down quickly, like I might be screwed. So I'm gonna try and see. Because I like to drag it backwards so that all my brow hairs get coated. It feels like hair gel. That's what it feels like and looks like to me. Alright, so it doesn't dry down super quickly. Okay. Interesting. So gel, no gel. And these ones are like starting to lay down already. But these are up where I want them to be. It literally just looks like a tube of hair gel. we'll let that dry. I'll go ahead and do my lips and then we'll check it to see if they're crunchy or anything like that. So I did pick up the shade Whirl from MAC, their lip pencil. But then I also just picked up their, what is this? The Powder Kiss and Over the Taupe. And then Natasha Denona also released the Shimmering Lip Plumper as part of her Golden Collection. We're gonna go ahead. I haven't had Whirl in a long time, which is a really pretty shade. It's also a very popular shade. The one thing I will say about MAC lip pencils, they're very stiff. Kind of gives me the vibes of like Wherever Walnut from Makeup Forever. But it also is my lip color, but a little bit darker, which I'm okay with. Now Over the Taupe, which I went into Ulta and I saw this and I was like, I didn't realize they had just released like new shades, and I don't think they did. I just think they just changed the component of the Powder Kiss, because they used to have Powder Kiss just in the regular MAC lip tubes. A perfect match. It just gives that really pretty like lip blur. So if I didn't have a lip liner on, it would just kind of give that feathered look. But because I put the lip liner on, it just gives it more defined. And that, when I rub my lips together, is where I can see where I need to like fill it in a little bit, and it's on this side. Fix my Cupid's arrow a little bit. Now, one thing with this, Powder Kiss doesn't usually dry down, so it's not going to be like that mattifying lipstick and stay put and budge proof. Like, I'm going to have to carry this with me. Now, the Golden Glimmer Gloss. So there are little flakes of gold and silver glitter in here. It is so shiny. The only downside is I'm wearing a dark lip color, so it's transferring. Oh, that is gorgeous. I will say though, it kind of feels gritty. Okay, you guys, I'm back and this is the final look. I really like how everything came together. The one thing I didn't check is the brows. They feel like they're in place. They do have like, they're not soft and like fluffy like they are with my Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. They do feel a bit like crunchy. If you don't have a problem with that, that's not a big deal. I feel like my brows are gonna stay in place where they're at, which is fine. I don't usually like mess with my brows anyways, so whether they're fluffy or crunchy is not a big deal to me. It's all about preference, but like they're gonna stay in place. They are pretty defined like right through here. So if I didn't fill them in, I feel like you would see all the way through that. Especially as sparse as my front parts of my brows are. Other than that, there are some good products in here. Like I said, I'm going to continue to use the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder with other formulas, different foundations, different concealers. See what I like, see what I don't like. If I like this enough, I'll pick up the translucent shade. The pink is nice. It definitely toned down the darker shade of my foundation that I used today. But I like how my skin looks. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do like a makeup checkup later on down the road because we are gonna go out with some friends. I don't know what time we're getting home. I don't know how I'm gonna feel when I get there or get back. But I will definitely look at my makeup before I take it off and update the drop down box. Now, these blushes from Huda Beauty. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of them. I know I just said that I needed to declutter my blush drawer when I did my Shop My Stash, and then I just bought every single shade of the Huda Beauty blush filter. Like, who does that? So I do need to go through that drawer. I do need to declutter. Apparently it is like cream blush season for me, so we will see. But I like how it looks on my skin, and I do like the cocktail, like how she branded it. Could I do that with other blushes in my collection? Absolutely. Why I haven't done it, I don't know. Maybe you just need that idea from somebody else. As for the lips, I really like the Powder Kiss. I like that it is just in this component, and then over the taupe is really pretty. I think it might be a little bit different with other like liner shades, but I really wanted to use Whirl again. I never used to like brown lip liners, or like it kind of has like a mauvey brown shade to it. So I will definitely get some use out of that, I'm sure. And now the Natasha Denona collection. I like the lip gloss. It does feel a little like gritty to me, and I don't know if it's my lips or the glitter particles, but it is really pretty. It is very shiny. It just depends on preference. It's so glossy. I really like this. I will definitely keep using this, and it's a plumper. It doesn't hurt. There's like no, I'm not feeling any like tingling sensation, so we'll see how that goes. I do want to do like a rate my plumps or a lip plumpers. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Maybe I'll do it as like a short or something. I don't know if it needs to be like a dedicated video. We'll see. Depends, because there's a lot of lip plumpers in my drawer and I didn't realize it. Let me know if you want to see that. And then the Natasha Denona Golden Highlighter Trio and Eyeshadow Palette, which this packaging is showing all the fingerprints. To me, like, I hate that, but you cannot deny how beautiful the color story is. Like I said, this is not an original palette. This is kind of a remaster of the original gold palette from Natasha Denona, minus the two bluish teal shades that were in there. I will try my hardest to find the Insta profiles that posted the swatches next to each other. But if you don't own it and you like browns and golds and champagnes like this, I like how my eyes turned out. As subtle as it is, a neutral brown shade with gold and then a little bit of like a whitish gold in the inner corner. It is so beautiful, and I feel like I could wear this all the time, every day, to work, going out, deepen it up even more in the outer corner and make it very smoky. That just wasn't the vibe today. And then the Golden Highlighter Trio, trying so carefully not to drop them out of here. This is so pretty, and it went on very nicely with the brush, but it went on so beautifully with the finger. So definitely play around with the palette. Let me know if you guys are picking it up. I want to know. Let's have that conversation. But you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Until in my next video, you guys, bye, and I'll see you in the next one.